What's going on, guys? GZTV back with another video, and we are here we just streamed for like 4.5 hours over on the Twitch, so check it out. We'll try to do some more this weekend and over the course of like the next week. GZTV live on Twitch, all lowercase. We're here with a late night video. We're talking about the NBA. There were 11 games, so I'm going to kind of skim through a lot of these games. The game I watched the most was the Hornets and the Celtics. Yeah, I watched a decent amount of Hornets Celtics. Jason Tatum scores 41, Derek White 33s. The Celtics beat the Hornets by 11. It looked like Derek White was going for 50. I mean, the guy had an incredible first half. Yeah, great scoring for Jason Tatum, and Derek White had the best scoring night and best three-point shooting night of his career. So this is a game he's going to remember for the rest of his career. This was a great game for him. Great game for Jason Tatum. Blake Griffin hitting some momentous threes, causing some timeouts. Gordon Hayward getting to the rim and throwing it down. Tatum played really good in the third quarter. Threw it down, got some euros, tough shots. He had 1,000 career three-pointers tonight off of a nasty step back. I mean, he's incredible. I mean, this team is amazing. And people are trying to take the title odds away from them, but right now the title odds are in the Celtics' favor. Like it's the reality. The trades haven't settled in yet. We'll see how these teams play. I think people are kind of overreacting with it all. Oh, I said I wasn't going to go through the highlights, but Mark Williams had 11 points, 12 rebounds. I think this is the first start of his career, and they have some new beginnings with the whole Mason Plumlee trade. LaMelo was playing pretty solid. I mean, 24 points with 10 assists. He was hitting some tough shots. 27 for T-Row. It's just guys like Gordon Hayward and JT Thor and Nick Richards. I mean, they just need to help the team out a little bit more. I mean, they are playing one of the best teams in the NBA. I'm not going to hold them to too much. Jason Tatum had 41 points off of 50% three-point shooting, and you get a 33-point, 10-assist performance for Derek White. That's one of the best trades the Celtics have pulled off in the last 4 years. Getting Derek White is probably the best trade since... Dude, I don't know. Maybe the Malcolm Brogdon trade was a little better. I don't know, though. It's hard to say right now. But Spurs, Pistons, an absolute mid-off. Went to double OT. I mean, if you like one of the teams, you got a good game for you. But Bojan Bogdanovic's 32 lead the Pistons to a double OT win over the Spurs. This is pretty much like the tank bowl right here. Who's going to get won by Yama? It's the sweepstakes. It's been going on all year. Great overtime performance for Bojan and just a good game scoring overall. They were able to win by 7. Two of the NBA's worst teams go at it, and they go to double OT. I think that's cool. I mean, that's awesome. There's nothing really entertaining about terrible basketball teams, but it was cool. Again, if you like those teams, you enjoy the game, sure. I have headset here. My bad, guys. Zach Collins. What a game Zach Collins had. 29 points, 11 rebounds. He shot 33% from 3. 27 points from Malachi Branham, who I've been talking about as a streaky player, but he had a good game tonight. He shot 50% from 3. Isaiah Roby, not a great game for him. That's really about it. I mean, Isaiah Roby is one of my only complaints there. 31 points for Devontae Graham. How can I forget the Spurs debut? Devontae Graham might find his footing with this team. We'll have to see. He's actually a really solid NBA player, and I want to see if he can... Yeah, but 32 points for Bojan, 15 points, 11 rebounds for Isaiah Stewart. I do like the Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren starting lineup. I think that works a lot better than what Detroit has been doing in the past. Jalen Duren with a career night. He played great. 30 points, 17 rebounds, 65% overall shooting. He played fantastic. Off the bench, you get Isaiah Livers with 11 points, 10 rebounds, shooting 50% overall. Great performance here. I mean, the Pistons played amazing, so... Gonna give him a pat on the back on that as we move on to the Suns and Pacers, who are awaiting the KD trade to really settle in, but they're still out here winning games and having a good season so far. So Man, DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker lead the Suns past the Pacers a day after the Kevin Durant trade. It obviously motivated them to come out here and play some winning basketball. Great scoring and rebounding for DeAndre Ayton. Devin Booker scored. Chris Paul did a decent amount on the scoring end. And, this was a pretty easy win for the Suns somewhat. They won by 13. Man, I'm excited about the NBA. The playoffs are going to be legendary. It's going to be a classic. I'm not missing a single NBA game for anything. I'm watching every game, seriously. But DeAndre Ayton had 22 points, 11 rebounds. Shout out to Torrey Craig, pretty good game for him. 11 points, 12 rebounds, 33% from 3. Devin Booker trying to get into the swing of things. He had 21 points off of 33% three-point shooting. Moving on to the Pacers, 22 points for a 33% three-point shooting, Benedict Mathurin. But other than that, Aaron Nimhard wasn't able to score to save his life. I really appreciate how he can pass the ball around, but as a rookie, he's got a lot to learn, and I think he's going to have to fit into this role, and he's going to have to be able to score a little bit more if they want to win games. Knicks, 76ers. This was the game I watched in the early window before the Celtics game. Tyrese Maxey gives the 76ers a spark in an 11-point win over the Knicks. Man, great scoring off the bench for Tyrese Maxey. He's always been that guy for them this season. They were down by 13 and they were able to win. So, yeah, shout out to the 76ers. They're definitely up there as a top 10 to top 5 team in the league. So, 30 points and 10 rebounds for Julius Randle. He shot 55%. Jalen Brunson, all-star snub, played incredible. He had 30 points. He shot 50% from 3. Not the best game here for Jericho Sims or Obi Toppin. I kind of wish those guys would have stepped up when they were kind of coming back and going on a run, but it is what it is. Embiid continuing to have an MVP caliber season and not being an all-star starter. 35 points, 11 rebounds. I'm going to keep bringing up those receipts. The NBA is never going to live this down. 35 points, 11 rebounds. You get 20 points and 12 assists for James Harden. 27 points off the bench for Tyrese Maxey. And, moving on to the Jazz and the Raptors. A pretty solid game here. The Jazz are awaiting Russell Westbrook and who else? I don't remember who else they got, but Russell Westbrook. That's enough. Jazz rally to beat the Raptors by 6. They snapped a 3-game skid. They're still kind of struggling right now, but we'll see how they do in the future. Great scoring for Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler, Colin Sexton as well. Jazz were down big in this one. They were down by 12 in the final 5 minutes, and they were able to win. So that's awesome. That's a really big win for the Jazz. 23 points for Lauri Markkanen, 23 points for Walker Kessler, 22 points for Colin Sexton. They just had a big 3 out there. They just had guys that could score. So happy for them. I want to see the Jazz do good. That's a team that has always deserved to have a good year. But Siakam played great, 35 points. But other than that, Thaddeus Young off the bench could have done a little bit more for this team. But other than that, Thaddeus Young. That's my only complaint. Rockets and Heat, I watched a decent amount of this game. It was very scrappy. It was a very close game, but it kept me interested. There weren't that many other games on that I watched. I watched a little bit of Blazers Thunder, but Jimmy Butler's dunk at the end gives the Heat a 2-point win over the Rockets. The play was drawn up by assistant coach Chris Quinn during a Miami Heat scrimmage at the NBA restart bubble in 2020. A lob to the rim off an inbounds pass, and the result was a Jimmy Butler dunk. And they were able to win against a trash team by 1 dunk. Maybe they're not that proud of themselves for that, but a win is a win, and you just got to take them and move on. Looking at the Rockets, Jabari Smith had 22 points off of 33% three-point shooting, 50% overall shooting. Definitely not a good game for guys like Jayshawn Tate and really just Jayshawn Tate. Jayshawn Tate's my only complaint there. You look at the Heat, you get a 20-point performance for Bam Adebayo, 31 for Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero might be back. He shot 50% from 3, 55% overall. He got hurt and it kind of threw off his mojo, but I think he's back and I think he's giving out buckets. So that's a good sign. Looking at the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies, what a terrible game. What a terrible trade the Timberwolves made. Their seasons, they're going to be down in the dumps. They might not even make a play-in. Ja Morant is a near triple-doubles. The Grizzlies beat the Timberwolves. Great scoring, decent rebounding, decent assist, decent passing. I mean, the dude was doing everything. Great scoring for Desmond Bane. They got a big lead throughout the fourth quarter. It was a 21-point differential, and they were able to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. 21 points for Jalen Nowell off the bench. That's the only positive this team really has. I mean, Jalen McDaniels. Who else? Jalen McDaniels. I mean, I guess it's really just McDaniels. I don't know. I don't really have too many complaints, but no D'Lo. This team's going down. They're done. Timberwolves. You gave up D'Lo. That was terrible. And it's going to come back and bite them. The Grizzlies had that 32-point performance from Ja and 20 points for Desmond Bane off of 50% overall shooting. Man, I feel for the Timberwolves fans. Like, you guys, your organization messed up. But looking at the Cavs and the Pelicans, Donovan Mitchell scores 30. The Cavs beat the Pelicans to win their 5th straight. The Cavs are on the rise. They're rising up in the East. Great score for Donovan Mitchell. Most of the way, I mean, Cleveland was able to get a double-digit lead, and they won by 11, so good for them. They're playing pretty good as of late. I mean, great game for Evan Mobley. 28 points, 13 rebounds. 20 points, 11 rebounds for Jared Allen. That's one of the best big man combos there's in the league. 30 points for Donovan Mitchell for 33% three-point shooting. You move on to the Pelicans and you get 25 points out of Brandon Ingram, who didn't miss his three, but Jonas Valanciunas, I don't know what he was doing. Jonas Valanciunas, Najee Marshall, Jose Alvarado. It's just guys like that need to step up. Zion Williamson is out, so Najee Marshall off the bench is going to have to be able to put up a decent performance. Man, I mean, I wouldn't be... No, the Pelicans are fine. They're doing fine right now. It's just, I don't know what's going to happen once the West is just going to stack up. Who knows what their fate's going to be. At the beginning of the season, I would have said that they were like a top 3 to top 5 team in the conference. But now with all these trades going down, I'm not really sure anymore. So, yeah, moving on to the Thunder and Blazers. What can I say? Shai Gilgeous, he's that guy. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is 44. The Thunder beat the Trailblazers by 9. The Thunder are inching closer and closer into a play-in spot. Great scoring for Shai. I mean, putting on a clinic. He honestly should have started in the All-Star game, him or Dame. And these are two great point guards playing against each other. So, yeah, they were able to take care of business. I mean, it was really just Shai Gilgeous. I mean, 44 points off his 16 shots. That is very impressive. It really is. I mean, obviously he got to the line probably about 20 times. He went 18 for 19 from free throw. Yeah, Shai played great. One of the more efficient nights in recent NBA times. So, great game for Shai. You look at the Trailblazers, you get a 23-point performance out of Jeremy Grant, 40% from 3. Cam Reddish makes his debut as a Trailblazer. I really hope that Cam Reddish can get something done for this team. I want to see Cam Reddish have a good career. Dame didn't disappoint. I mean, 38 points for him. It's just, Drew Eubanks, Trent Watford, Nasir Little. It's just kind of guys like that need to fill a role better if they want to beat a team like the Thunder right now. Maybe their defense wasn't that good, but there's still some guys that can improve for the Trailblazers moving forward. We will have to look at the standings at the end of the video, actually, to see where that's going. Mavs and Kings. Kyrie Irving is 2-0 as a Dallas Maverick. Kyrie Irving's 25 points and 10 assists lead the Mavericks over the Kings. Great scoring and passing for Kyrie. They won by 8. Third straight win. Kyrie's here. And, I mean, he might not be here to stay, but he's going to help them win basketball games and possibly have a good playoff run. I mean, the dude had 25 points and 10 assists. No one else on the team is really doing a whole lot, but there's that. The Kings, and you're playing a team like the Kings. This is a tough team. Domantas Sabonis, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 50% overall shooting. De'Aaron Fox, one of the most clutch players in the league, actually. There were some stats a couple of days ago I saw about him. He had 33 points. Harrison Barnes could definitely pick it up. I mean, Chimezie Metu, Davion Mitchell, Malik Monk. There's all sorts of guys that could have played a little bit better. If there was one guy off the bench that could have stepped up, this would have went differently. But shout out to Kyrie Irving. That's awesome. He gets to a new place. He wins 2 straight games. The Mavs are looking like the best team that out of this trade deadline right now because of how Kyrie's playing for him. So, yeah, last game of the night, Bucks-Clippers. Thought this was going to be a little more interesting than it was. But okay. I mean, the Bucks are great. Bucks beat the Clippers by 13 for their 10th straight win. Probably the hottest team in the NBA. Great scoring for Giannis Antetokounmpo. This is the hottest this team has looked in like 2 or 3 years, so enjoy it, Bucks fans. Man, I really don't know who's going to win the championship this year. There's a decent amount of years in NBA history where you look and you're like, okay, this team's going to win. But right now, I'm kind of flustered. Like, I don't know I'm stumped. Who's going to win? Celtics? Suns? Are the Bucks going to be able to do it? Are the Lakers going to be able to do it maybe and have a comeback season with LeBron? I don't know. We'll see how the Lakers play off that trade. But Giannis, 35 points, 50% three-point shooting. Brook Lopez, 22 points, 15 rebounds, 67% from three. A very underrated player. I mean, I don't think anyone talks about this guy. He's one of the most reliable big men in the NBA. He can put up performances like this like it's nothing, man. He doesn't do it consistently, but you look at the Clippers and you get 19 points, 11 rebounds out of Paul George. No Kawhi. I guess you got to take this game kind of lightly. Brandon Boston came in as a decent replacement as a scoring option. I mean, he had 20 points, didn't miss a single three. Vika Zubac, guys like him, guys like Rocco, definitely need to pick it up for this squad. I don't really have much to say. I released a video on the trade deadline today. If you guys want to go ahead and go check that out. Yeah, if you guys want to go check that video out, I only have one view on it. It's not the best of videos, I guess, quality-wise, but I talked about every single trade at decent length. It's like a 15-minute video if you guys want to check it out. Tomorrow we have The Walking Dead to talk about, and I might do a video reacting to the Billboard Top 50 Rappers. I always like when music companies do lists like that. I think it's great, but yeah, that's it. NBA recaps every night. We're going to do one again tomorrow night, of course. Looking at the standings really quick. I'm probably going to get off the video after this. Looking at the West here, OKC is tied for a play-in game. So, yeah, they're literally right there. It's right